Hello and welcome to the Qualified.One podcast number 34. And today we're talking about what messaging should you avoid and use in your advertising right now during the crisis. Here is a question we are getting a lot of right now. Our leadership is worried about marketing too aggressively right now. How much is too much? How do we advertise in a way that's supportive and doesn't look like we are capitalizing on the pandemic? Well, with all the posts from critics going up right now about what brands are doing right and wrong, there is a wave of trepidation over how to message that's freezing marketers in their tracks. Whether you are fighting for every sale you can get right now, or your brand is uniquely positioned to help people in the new normal, advertising should be a part of your strategy. Generally speaking, people understand that companies need to keep operating, and they understand that will evolve advertising. The 4A's released research in which only 15% agreed with the blanket statement that they didn't want to hear from brands right now. How they hear from you, of course, will matter. Our team has put together a set of tips to help you update your messaging and strike the right chord with the people. And the first is ditch the urgency. One thing that's easy to do away with are any messages that motivate people through urgency. There are a lot of very personal reasons people are anxious right now, so adding to that with messaging they didn't ask for to begin with is likely to create animosity toward your brand. It doesn't matter if you're offering an essential good or not, pressuring people to buy now is an unwelcome turn to take. Instead, focus messaging on anything you do that makes it easy for people to access your offer, or what positions you are as a reliable or consistent presence for them. Here are some examples of messaging to avoid, like buy now or don't delay, limited time, going fast, and on the contrary, examples of messaging to embrace, now available, fast checkout, shipping quickly, if your shipping isn't severely disrupted. Next point is to avoid jargon. Be human. At Metric Theory, we are big fans of this approach all the time, but especially if you are in a technical vertical, it's worth combining through your messaging right now and reducing your reliance on insider jargon. If you're in B2C, focus more on valuable propositions and less on features. There are two reasons for this. First, the people included in purchase decisions are likely very different than a few weeks ago. For business buyers, be ready for the CFO to play a more central role in the purchase decision. They are less likely to be drawn in by jargon and features, and even worse, if they see it as obfuscation, you won't make the sale. You'll need to focus as much as you can on demonstrating the cost savings on or bottom line value of your offering. For personal markets, people are either being much more conservative with spending or incorporating their partners or even their children in purchase decisions. Second, during time of crisis or anxiety, people are looking for things that simplify decision making for them. With everything else they're contending with, they are likely not willing or able to put in as much research as they typically might, which is where benchmarking on technical features is most helpful. In this environment, it can be frustrating to buyers it suggests their road to understanding a purchase decision is going to be more complex than they hoped. Next point is about highlight discounts and payment methods. One of the toughest parts about how people are affected right now is how highly variable their impact is. Some industries are completely shut down, while others are soaring, and there are plenty that are somewhere in between. So, some amount of your typical customer base isn't going to be buying, but others have similar levels of disposable income and are looking for things that give them a little bit of joy, even if they're not life essentials. If you had a seasonal discount planned and are discounting aged inventory, or just want to offer a blank discount to continue attracting new buyers and recover the lost revenue from lower demand, It's a great time to highlight those promotions in your ads. It's also a good idea to promote alternative or deferred payment options like installment payment, post payment, and no risk trials. Making your products more accessible to people right now naturally demonstrates some empathy with what many people are going through, whether their purchasing power is only slightly impaired or if they're cutting way back on non-essential purchases. So to conclude, for most businesses, advertising to acquire new customers is a necessary set of business operations. If there is a concern about how your ads will be received right now, small changes that demonstrate empathy with customers and understanding of the new ways purchasing decisions are being made can make all the difference with how people view your brand and their interest in buying from you right now. That was a podcast by Josh McClaus from Metric Theory for Qualified.One.